Now, before I get into all this, I just want to say that Batman's origins have been controversial enough, and I'm here to absolutely add to it. It might just be a far off bet to say that this was a real original Batman, dating all the way back to 1932, a whole 7 years before the Batman that we know today would even appear in the comic books. Could it really be? I don't know, but it's a heck of an interesting idea to ponder, I'll tell you that. The story behind this supposed original Batman was that a man named Frank D. Foster II, who was attending the Massachusetts College of Art at the time, he had a fellow classmate come up to him and ask for his help as an artist to create a hillbilly type cartoon. Frank didn't care much for this idea. However, it did spark something in him to create something of his very own, a superhero in fact, or so the story goes. This new hero would feature a chiseled jaw ordinary man with a dual identity, posing as a bat during the night. However, the real kicker was in the name. It was none other than Batman. Yes, Batman. Here, this is a picture of the original artwork, and right on the backside of it saying 1932 Village, which was the supposed time and place, being Greenwich Village in 1932. Yes, I mean the date that this was drawn and the location where it took place, which was drawn during a trip visiting his friend in New York at the time. And along with this, it also said Batman with a check mark right next to it, and Nightwing right underneath. According to Frank's son, this was because he came up with two names for the hero and ending up choosing Batman instead, thus marking it with a check. Now, I have no reason to believe this isn't the real deal, and it could really just be a wild, crazy coincidence. Still, it's just nutty to think about either way. Believe you me, I would love to believe that this was the original Batman. That would be awesome. Okay, anyways. Also, the name Batman had been used in 1936 by Lou Merrill in the story right here. I don't know why, I just thought this would be interesting to mention for no apparent reason. Take it for what it's worth. Not a whole lot. Now back to the story. How would this even happen? How would Frank's idea get into the hands of the likes of DC anyways? I mean, if this was truly a case of, a stolen hero, there would have had to been some way that it could have been stolen, right? Well, apparently, years after even first drawing said character, Frank and his family moved rather close to DC Publications in New York, 1937, 2 years before Batman would become a thing by them. So, was there ever a better place to leave some original superhero design concepts? I think not. And apparently this might have been the case. He allegedly dropped off his work all over the local area, including his concept for Batman, and hoped for the best, only to later return looking for an update at these places and hearing the same thing every time, that these works simply couldn't be used. So, if he was going everywhere around the local area to drop off his works, was it really a stretch to believe that he might have dropped off his works at the then DC New York office location, located just a few blocks from where he was living at the time, thus leading to believe that somehow, some way that it would end up in the lap of Bob Kane, or so it's been theorized. I don't know, it's just a possibility. It may be a lot of ifs and maybes, and obviously this really can't be proven one way or the other. Like I said, it could all be just one huge coincidence as well, and clearly there could be many different factors in contributing to a bat-like superhero with a name such as Batman. And if you know how trademarking works, it isn't really your idea unless you can prove it. And according to Frank's son, his father didn't really document the creation of this hero very well either. So you're just gonna have to come up with your own conclusions and believe what you want to believe. Let's now fast forward just a little bit. In 1940, while at a newspaper stand, Frank would come to find out that his hero idea was realized in an official comic book, not by him, but rather DC, otherwise known as Detective Comics. Specifically, issue number 27 is where Batman was first seen, and Frank couldn't believe it. No, it can't be. Frank believes that this was not some sort of mere coincidence, and rather his idea for this hero had to have been stolen. So maybe he really did turn his work into DC without realizing it, or somebody else did. He didn't really know. So now, the only problem is, he has no funds to fight legally to prove that this was his idea at the time. One method he did try, however, was using the watermark as proof, shown here, cutting the one from the Batman sketch off, and then sending it to a curator working at the Chicago Art Museum, though this method didn't work out very well either, as in turn, they instead asked for more drawings that were made using the very same paper, which was not possible as they didn't have enough drawings. Basically, the paper's age could be proven, just not the date of said art, or who even made it at that point. The only other piece of artwork with this stamp found on it within his possession was art of another hero that he had in development, going by the name Raven. Here, go ahead and check out the panel for yourself. which was signed on the back 1931 NY and included his friends' names. Now, I'm not really 100% sure why they all signed this, but I'm willing to bet that it had something to do with them maybe contributing to this piece or something like that. I mean, that's what I'm guessing. I don't really know for sure. Anyways, that's pretty much it. A story of the potential original Batman, though I guess we'll really never truly know. Could this really have been the true Batman, or was it rather just one great big cosmic coincidence? By the way, you can check out more information about this story at originalbatman.com, like documents and such. I'll link it down in the description. Also, this is where all the pictures of said hero can be found as well, and even an article about this topic found within issue 162 of Alter Ego magazine by Tomorrows. I'm not affiliated with any of this in any way. I just wanted to cite my sources a little bit, and then maybe you guys can also check out more information about the topic and gather your own conclusions as well. This is a website ran by Frank's son, Frank Foster III, as he's been pretty adamant about setting the story straight since his father's passing, and I thought it would be great to share it. I like the idea of a Batman that no one ever really got to know, because either way, this hero that Frank created was sure named Batman after all, and I don't doubt that fact one bit. Now, you know what they say, the darkest nights demand the hardest work, and I gotta get back to mine. Bye-bye!